Infrastructure resilience is a critical global challenge. Asset loss and service disruption due to disaster and climate risks cost over $700 billion annually. Eroding our investments like water slipping through a bamboo basket. By 2050, the world requires a staggering $9.2 trillion to bridge the infrastructure gap, meet SDGs, and achieve net zero goals. At this pivotal juncture, we face a choice. Investing in resilience promises quality services, reduced damage, sustainable development. Neglecting it leads to stagnation, stranded assets, and mounting risk. The first biannual report on global infrastructure resilience from the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure makes a compelling economic, political, and financial case to radically upscale investment in infrastructure resilience.
The first ever report that really maps out what we call the global landscape of infrastructure risk, which is actually understanding in quantitative terms how much risk each country in the world has in each of its infrastructure sectors. So that's in roads and railways, power and energy, ports and airports, telecommunications, and so on, with respect to each one of the hazards that each country faces. So we look at both geological hazards like earthquakes and tsunamis, as well as climate-related hazards such as tropical cyclones, floods, storm surges, and so on.
The Coalition's mandate is to build capacity and technical assistance. The report is first of its kind in the world and trying to make a case for why, as we are following our development pathways, as we are trying to achieve our sustainable development goals, why we need to also look at risk reduction, because we don't want to lose some of the infrastructure that we'll be building because we haven't paid enough attention to risks.
The report advocates for nature-based infrastructure solutions in complementing, substituting for, or safeguarding traditional, gray infrastructure.
Green roofs, permeable pavements, vertical gardens complement hard urban infrastructure while reducing heat islands and urban flooding. Protecting and restoring mangrove forests, marshes, and dune systems safeguards coastal roads, buildings, and utilities from storm damage. Monetizing these projects' environmental, social, and health benefits, along with economic benefits, will show the value of including nature in public and private infrastructure development.
The report urges stakeholders to view resilience as an opportunity for investment by recognizing and measuring the full resilience dividend.
Assessing infrastructure exposure to climate and disaster risks is critical to the stability of communities and countries. This includes the financial community, which is affected by potential changes in asset valuations as the impacts of such risks become more significant.
The global infrastructure resilience comes at a very important time. The world is marking the midpoint of the Sendai framework as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. 11 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals cannot be achieved without adequate investment in infrastructure. The world will build more infrastructure in the next 20 years than it has built in the last 200 years. It is really important that we get it right. It is really important that we build resilience as opposed to accumulate risk.
Global infrastructure resilience is a testament to the power of collaboration. Spearheaded by CDRI in India, it offers a fresh perspective on a global issue.
The report has been prepared in partnerships with several global organizations. UNDP has been a partner from day one. We have organizations such as the Green Climate Fund, the United States Forest Service, and others. There are 20 such organizations that have contributed to preparation of this report. So we are really confident in the messages that are coming out of this document. Thank you very much from the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure.